welcome to this vlog. Hopefully this framing setup that I have going is alright. We're currently in a parking lot of a Home Depot, a place that humbles me every time I come here. I'm here to finally get the supplies, or some of the supplies, some of the things I need to mount or like semi-frame that fish painting that I have been chipping away at and have recently finished, and now it's just been sitting finished in my little dining room slash painting studio area. Today's the day. I'm gonna get the wood that I need to mount it. I'm gonna get this like corner molding, I think. In my head it makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna see what it looks like and figure that out, and then I have to get it cut, which is intimidating, but apparently that's a thing that you can do here. So yes, come along on this adventure straight away and wish me luck. Ta-da! Wood! So this is corner molding, and I'm kind of imagining it as like, so it's a corner, right? I don't know if you can see that very well. It's a 90-degree edge, and I'm thinking I will like attach the top of it via a staple gun to the back of this thing, to the front facing, and then this like inch or whatever that's like protruding from the wall will kind of make it like float, which is kind of cool, right? So hopefully that works out. I'm kind of thinking that originally I was gonna do like a dark stain, like almost like the color of this table, or even a little darker, just to match Morg's furniture, because this is for Morg. But I'm gonna send this to her and see what she thinks, because I kind of think the light wood is kind of nice, like that. Like it looks nice with the colors. Dark would be nice too. It's definitely a different vibe. But yeah, I'll see what she thinks, because ultimately it's up to her. Yeah, we'll go from there. Very cool. Okay, I'm glad. I've been kind of like thinking about this problem, or like figuring out how to solve how I'm gonna like frame it or whatever, rather than just having it be like a loosey-goosey kind of fabric on its own. Something to give it a little bit more structure, and I'm just like thinking about how will I mount it or whatever. Originally I was gonna do like a single like flat piece rather than a corner piece, and then just get two of those and then stick them together, or like get one and then staple it to the back of that, and then somehow hang that up. But I think I like this better. It's a little more fancy. But yeah, hi. Ooh. How's it going, guys? I'm like so dramatically lit right now because other than the kitchen over there, I don't have any lights on in the house, and it's like quite gloomy out, but not exactly dark enough to turn on lights. Like that feels dramatic. Welcome to a brand new vlog. I feel weird because my last couple vlogs, I guess like the past whole last month, was my like Badtober stuff. So all of the stuff that I was filming was extremely structured. It was about my art. It was about, you know, filming my process and my art process and blah, 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 and not really pulling out my my vlogging camera or my iPhone or whatever to capture things other than within the context of doing Badtober. So now coming back into a normal vlog, I'm kind of like, okay, what do I actually do? What do I actually talk about? What were my vlogs like before all of the structure? and I'm kind of at a loss. I'm going to find my way slowly and eventually. But for now, please excuse if, you know, I'm just a little deer in the headlights, because that's how I feel a little bit. How's this? It's still kind of dramatic, but at least the light is facing us now, so I'm just gonna sit on the floor. So hello, today is November 8th, I believe. It's a Friday, and this month I have a few things that I am going to be doing or would like to do or have set out for myself. Firstly, I would like to do a shop opening at the beginning of December. Kind of for like holiday season or whatever. I feel like that's a good time to be offering things online to purchase. So I have a few ideas for new products that I would like to do, as well as I need to finish one other print thing that I would like to include in this next shop opening. And so that's all good. All of this stuff that I'm talking about is like super doable, super cool, but for some reason right now I'm feeling a little bit like it's taking me a little bit extra effort to do things right now, and that could be the weather changing, could be a bunch of things, but yeah, it's a bit weird coming out of, you know, the past little high that I was on. I talked about this in my last Patreon podcast, I think, but I've been exploring and looking at the idea of being present and being conscious and appreciating the current moment. And oh, a bird just landed on my window. Okay, now it's gone, bye-bye. And now it went over there. Okay, and now it's over there. Bye-bye. I'm like, there's so many magpies that just like terrorize our house, and I don't know what they do when they like attach themselves to the window frames or whatever, but they like fuck around, and I'm like, what are you doing to my house? So I like bang so that they like get scared off or whatever, but then they like land on the roof and then they look in the window, and I feel like I have to hide because I've heard that like birds can recognize people, and if a magpie doesn't like you, it will attack you. Those things are fucking vicious. One time I parked somewhere under a tree, which may have been that magpie's territory, or it had like, I don't know, its babies there or something, but I parked there and I was waiting for a friend to come out of her apartment, and it was like screaming at me from the tree. I was like, dude, chill, I'm just parked, like chill. And then it like flew over and it landed on my hood, screaming at me still, like balking at me. I was gonna say barking. Like chirping, balking at me. I was like, whoa, like it was kind of crazy. I was scared. I didn't want to come out of my car. And then it started like beaking my car. It started like fucking jackhammering my hood. And I was like, what the fuck? And so I moved my car. It won in that instance. I was not about to fuck with a magpie. I was not about to enter that kind of fight because I would lose. So yeah, now I'm like slightly scared of magpies because one bullied me one time. But anyways, yeah. So, you know, I'm feeling kind of weird. I feel like in my last kind of high, I don't want to describe it as a high because it wasn't really like a high. I was just feeling good. I was like appreciating life. I was being able to take things slowly and appreciate, I don't know, just everything. And now, like, still being aware of those things, and every morning when I journal or whatever, I connect with myself, it's within the context of the present moment and being aware and trying to reassure myself that, like, you know, I don't have to do anything or prove myself to anyone or anything like that in order to be complete. I'm already complete, and everything that is just right now in this present moment. But yeah, I don't know, lately it's like, I'm saying lately as if it's been a while. It's been like the past couple days maybe. I've felt a little, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you know when you feel okay for the most part, but there's just this little bit of like background vibration anxiety that's happening, mostly around like wanting to do stuff or knowing what you should do next or want to do next, but something's keeping you from that. That's kind of where I am. So it's like a wanting to propel yourself forward, but being held back for some reason. And then all of the complicated emotions that come along with that. That's what I'm feeling currently. And I'm gonna reflect on that and think about that and get back to you guys about that. Anyways, I'm in the back of my head, I'm like yelling at myself to stop talking because this is like, we've just begun the vlog and I'm already fucking yapping like this. So yeah, I think maybe I'll meditate on that. So I'll talk to you guys later with an update or whatever I decide to do next on this beautiful, gloomy Friday. Welcome to the vlog. We're back. Hey, how's it going? I just started speaking and then noticed that I wasn't recording, so hi, now that we're actually here. Yeah, today was a pretty chill day. It is currently 8:12 at night, and I spent a good chunk of like the afternoon doing some very, very rough sketching for some sticker sets. The ones that I mentioned that I would like to have ready for my December shop launch. And they're like very, very rough. Like I'm just figuring out kind of like a layout and what I want the subject matter to be kind of. So I'm kind of thinking like I want to play off of my original Plant and Demon sticker set where it was kind of like, I don't know, similar vibes, but kind of like two sides of the same coin, or like inside you there are two wolves kind of vibe. So the plant sticker set will be like very cute and relaxed and peaceful and cozy and, you know, all of these nice things. And then the demon sticker set will be more like kind of like aggressive and stubborn and scary, that kind of stuff. So like I have like a Hanya mask and a cat holding a knife in its mouth and like a snake and a whatever. And then in the plant one, the plant guy is like meditating and taking a little bath in a cup of tea and stuff like that. So yeah, I kind of want that vibe to be what's going on. And so yeah, I like where this is going. I think for the most part, I was struggling coming up with stuff that I liked. I was originally trying to kind of like figure this first one out first and then move to the next one, but I felt the tension within myself, and then so I started on the next one and then got that going, but then felt like I couldn't really continue, or I felt like I needed, I just wanted to come back to it later. And yeah, I don't know, I just felt tension inside of me, non-motivation, you know. I was struggling with, I don't know, the feeling just wasn't there. So I went for a walk. I sat down, thought about what was going on inside of me, thought maybe it would be good to go outside because today was very nice out. It was I think a high of like 17 or something today, which is like uncharacteristically warm for November. And the sun was setting, so I thought I would just go out, and then I listened to a chapter of the audiobook version of The Power of Now, which is my current mental health / spirituality obsession. And yeah, just reflecting on concepts in that book regarding like being present and not holding on to anxieties about the possible future or regrets or shame about the unchangeable past, stuff like that. It brought on some good reflection. It was nice being outside, watching the sunset, looking at the ducks and shit, and the geese. A bunch of them were like flying south, so that was kind of cool. They all like took off and then went in their V formation or whatever. So yeah, came back and then ate dinner, and yeah, afterwards I was feeling a bit of space to kind of, I don't know, start to think about the plant guy design. So my original plant guy, I don't think I have any demon guys left. Plant guys I have 3 just because I think I had more plant than demon. But this was my plant guy. So cute. And then the demon guy I'll put on screen here if I can find him. So yeah, that was the original design, and it's like very simple, right? So I kind of want to take a different approach and make it a little bit more of a character design than this. So I was messing around, playing with like different shapes and styles and stuff like that, and I landed on like what's kind of going on with these 3, this one and that one, kind of. So like he still has his little like sprout or whatever, but I gave him more of like a, I don't know, like a shape and a design, and I gave him some clothes and stuff like that. And he can change his hat. So here he has a little persimmon stem or whatever. And yeah, I just wanted to figure out something for him that was a little bit more like involved and creative than just like a naked green guy, which was my original design. And I like it. And so from here, I'm going to take his kind of visual language and then redesign the demon guy as well, kind of within the same vein or whatever. And then those designs will be used in the sticker sets. Yeah, I don't know. I still feel a little like something inside me isn't right, or like I'm having trouble accepting how I feel right now. I feel like the weirdness that I feel when I come to periods of my life where I feel a little less motivated is, and I think I've talked about this before, is the difficulty that I have just accepting that this is how I feel and that's okay. You know, I feel like I can definitely tell myself that like, okay, you know, I'm feeling a little bit unmotivated right now. I'm feeling like I can't really do the things that I want to do right now. And that's okay. But it's hard for me to really believe that and know that and live it in a way that, you know, doesn't leave this kind of congestion inside of me. Because I can tell myself like, okay, so I'm feeling like a little weird right now. I feel like I can't really do the things that I want to do right now, and that's okay. But deep down, I know that I feel like it's not okay because I want to do the things that I want to do. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to accept that this is where I am and that I am going to go a little bit slower right now because of the way that I feel. It's difficult to let go of the frustration there attached to that. Talking about this gets me a little worked up. Like I feel the anxiety, like physically. I'm struggling. I feel like I have a hard time talking about the things that have really struck a chord in me with regards to the power of now. I don't know how to talk about like spiritual stuff. I feel like for most of my life, definitely my adult life, I have been very disconnected from any kind of like spirituality or spiritual practice or beliefs or anything like that. So now trying to kind of explore that and talk about the concepts to you guys, I have trouble, I think, because I'm trying to explain it or explain what I'm thinking or what I'm feeling with like a philosophical approach or whatever, or like a
I'm trying to explain it logically, but that's kind of the thing with spirituality, is that it's like it can't really be understood logically, you know? It's more of like a feeling, and it's more of like an essence, I suppose. And I'm struggling with how to translate that into words and into concepts that I know how to express. That's where I am, and I feel like that's where a bit of a disconnect is in terms of how I talk about these things, or how I'm trying to talk about these things. And I think a bit of anxiety does flare up when I try to talk about certain concepts that I have been focusing on, that have been discussed in this book, because I am kind of like prejudging myself, because I feel uncomfortable with spirituality, I suppose. It's still like a new thing that I'm exploring for myself, and it's hard for me to let go of a prejudgment in my own mind that sometimes spirituality and talking about spirituality can be like to primarily logical people and to people who are disconnected from spirituality, like I have been. Conversations around spirituality can sometimes be a little bit hard to grasp, or hard to listen to without a cynical framing, if that makes sense. It's deeply personal, you know, my connection to these new ideas or whatever that I've been learning and trying to wrap my head around. And so I feel like I'm not fully in a place to talk about it fully, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I suppose I'm a bit afraid of if I come out as, you know, an enjoyer of this or that book or this or that concept, that I will be met with criticism or skepticism by some people. But hey, I guess that's my lesson to learn and my journey to be had, if so. That's where I am, I guess. Sorry, I didn't mean for this to turn into like a fucking talk. I literally was just gonna show you my sketches and then my like sketchbook plant guy character design, and then yeah. But I guess that's how I was feeling, and that's how the cookie crumbles, so I just blabbed as I usually do. I'll keep thinking about that. It's interesting, the insights that come up when I do allow myself to yap. Because I could have definitely stopped myself just then and not even mentioned, you know, any of this. That's good. It's a start. I'm sure I'll continue to think about this and reflect on it, and I'll let you guys know how I land. So yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go play Cyberpunk. Good night. Talk to you guys later. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Look at my hair. Look how crazy it is right now. And that's because I just got back from the gym. It was Stairmaster Day, cardio day, and didn't want to wash my hair afterwards. So this is what we're dealing with, and that's completely and totally fine. I would like to see no comments about that. I am going to doodle and figure out my little character design for my demon guy, now that I have my plant guy figured. This is do you guys know the brand Baggu? I recently bought I think it's called a camera crossbody or whatever. It's like
a little crossbody bag, as well as their sun hat. That's the like big hat. If you watched my Peru video, I got that for Peru to basically be like a wearable umbrella for the sun. And I received this tag on one of those. I think it was the bag, and now I'm using it as a bookmark for my sketchbook. So, did I mention I'm going to be designing bookmarks? One of the reasons I'm going to do that is because I have been using clothing tags and like tags like this and business cards as bookmarks, and I would love to have something a little more like cute and custom. Yeah, I'm not going to show you my sketching as I sketch. Yesterday when I was working on those sticker sketches or whatever, I feel like I was already kind of in a weird spot, and I was kind of like having to force myself or push myself to sketch and to be creative and to figure things out. And so having my camera kind of watching over my shoulder didn't help with that. So I've reminded myself that it's so dark in here. Why is it so dark in here? Let me do something about that. Un momento. Daylight savings was last weekend, and it is currently 4:10, and it's already getting dark. The sun is beginning to set. So yeah, I am deciding that I feel like the sketching phase, at least, is usually, you know, it's usually something that takes a lot of concentration and effort, and that's where the ideation comes in. And if I'm not feeling it or I'm not like focused, it can make the finished product not as good as it could have been if I was more like locked in and feeling better during the sketching phase. So I'm not going to put pressure on myself to show you guys every step of the way, and then once I have my sketches figured out, then we can move forward with the line art, and then I can show you guys that, because that's a little bit more brain off, like the decisions have been made sort of thing, and now I just need to go in and refine. So yeah, at the gym I was listening to a chapter of The Power of Now. I think I'm coming up on, how many chapters are there? 9 or 10? Something like that. There are 10 chapters and I'm on chapter 8. I've been going through this super slowly because I feel like there's just so much information in each chapter and so many like new concepts. Not really, like it's all, I guess it's all like within the same vein, and you can like figure out a lot of this stuff on your own once you understand the gist of it that gets covered in like the first few chapters. I was gonna say episodes because I'm listening to it. But yeah, I when I first started listening to it, I was going full steam ahead, and I found that like the information wasn't being absorbed. So then I started like listening to a chapter, and when I do listen to a chapter, I'm kind of like not doing anything else while I do it. I'm trying not to just use it as background noise or whatever, or like a background distraction while I do something else. I'm trying not to like multitask so that I can like actually focus on what is being said and relate it to my own life and my own person. So yes, I've been moving through it slowly, and I've gotten like halfway through chapter 8 now. Yeah, I was thinking about what I was talking about last night, about how, I don't know, I don't know how to talk about spirituality, or for some reason there's a lot of like shame around that, and I'm not sure why. Okay, I feel like I need to look at reference of Japanese clothing, because like I said, the plant guy is kind of, his outfit is kind of inspired by, what is it called? Like the hakama pants and a haori, which is like the jacket thingy. So maybe it would be cool to have the demon guy inspired by like a different kind of Japanese outfit. But yeah, I was thinking about that, and I guess
spirituality for me, like some context here. Like I said yesterday, like I don't have any real spiritual attachments, or at least I hadn't for a really long time. I grew up Protestant. I went to Catholic school or whatever, and then kind of like fell out of that, and have since been like peripherally interested in, I don't know, larger like spiritual concepts. I think I talked about like Taoism or being interested in Taoism in previous vlogs or things like that. And that was something that I was looking into, and definitely some of those concepts resonated. And thinking back to when I was kind of delving into Taoism and the concepts around that, the things that are resonating with me in this book now, yeah, a lot of the concepts in Taoism are kind of very similar, or there can be a lot of parallels drawn to the way that Eckhart Tolle, I always want to say Eckhart Tolle because that's how it looks, but I'm pretty sure it's Eckhart Tolle. Yeah.
Eckhart Tolle.
Tolle? Really? Okay. Oh, that's the American.
Eckhart Tolle.
Tolle. What is it in German? Like.
We are looking at how to pronounce this name. How do you say it? Eckhart Tolle.
Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle.
Tolle.
Pretty straightforward.
Eckhart Tolle. Yeah, the language that he uses in his book, it's just different, you know? I feel like reading about Taoism and the concepts around that. What book was I reading about that? It was a book that my first therapist recommended to me. She recommended this book to me. Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life. And I'm pretty sure I did talk about this, like if you go back way far back in some vlogs or something. I was reading this, and a lot of the ideas did resonate with me. And it's basically like dissecting a bunch of the chapters or whatever in the main Taoism book. The Tao Te Ching, however that is pronounced. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Yeah, so it's taking this like very old book that is kind of, I don't know, all of the main concepts of Taoism and like explaining it in more of a understandable and like modern way, I guess. So like those concepts resonated a lot with me when I was reading it, but then I kind of like, I don't know, tapered off of focusing on that and continued living my life and whatever. And then so now having a reintroduction into thinking about spirituality. And when I say spirituality, I'm talking about like the things beyond science and logic. You know what I mean? Things that cannot be proven, things that cannot be seen. More of like this like basic human understanding and like feeling, the like connectivity that you feel with people, like love, peace, joy, things like that. And while, yes, definitely a lot of that can be explained and rationalized with science, and there are like the brain chemistry things and whatever else, but I do feel that, at least for myself, and I feel like for a lot of people, there is a deeper yearning for something to believe in, I guess, that goes deeper than just like the science and the physical things that can be explained. So I've kind of been, you know, I've believed that there is something. I guess I didn't have the language to explain it. I do kind of think that across all religions, you know, whatever you do believe in, it just, whatever resonates with you, whether that is like a god or a larger concept or whatever, however it's presented to you and in the right moment of your life, if it makes you feel peace and if it, I don't know, comforts you or like leads your life in a, I don't know, loving way or like in a way that is right, then I think that's great. I feel like there's so much that we as humans we'll never know, and I feel like that's the human condition. That's kind of something that I was delving into when I had my little philosophy kick or whatever, is that to be human is to not know what your purpose is in life, or move through life and not really be able to have answers like that. Like, what is it all for? And, you know, you can get into like nihilism and existentialism and things like that. Absurdism, I looked into for a little while. But yeah, past that and past the explaining and past the understanding or trying to understand it on the level of the mind comes spirituality. So that's what I am referring to when I talk about things like that. And I feel like with this book specifically, and maybe something that the way that Eckhart puts it, that resonated with me so much more strongly than reading about Taoism, is that just the language that he uses, or the way that it's explained, and I feel like I can understand it better and like implement it into my own life and do the things that he talks about now. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel like maybe the Taoism stuff, while yes, you can implement things like that into your life at any point, it just didn't click for me at that point when I was reading about it. So yeah, it's just right place, right time, right language. And so that's kind of what I'm vibing with right now. And it's really cool. I like it a lot. That's where I'm at right now. I'm learning, I'm living, I'm loving. I'm live, laugh, loving. I feel like with these new concepts that I'm learning and taking it into kind of like the practice that is my life and that is my self-awareness and mental health and all of these things, and like mindfulness and meditation and shit like that, it's been impactful. And with prioritizing the current moment, I've noticed that I walk around now when I go outside and I look up more. I look at people. I smile at people. I'm able to see more beautiful things. And that's pretty cool. And it's making me a little bit like teary right now because I don't know how to explain it, but it's beautiful and I like it. And this book and the ideas in this book have kind of been the catalyst that has brought me here for now. Still figuring it out in this grand mystery that is life, but I feel grateful for having these ideas that have resonated with me and that I find peace in, I suppose. And isn't that all that matters, truly? If you have something that you can believe in and it truly brings you peace, then that's beautiful. And how can that be a bad thing, you know? As long as it's not like, you know, hurting other people, or you're not deluding yourself, or, you know, there's so many things. There's lots of complexities in the realm of spirituality and belief and whatever. But that's where I am, and that's how I feel. So, yeah, that's all. I guess that's all I wanted to say for now. I'll probably continue to think about this and whatever. Yeah, light, love, and happiness. I'm gonna keep working on figuring out my guy. So far, so here's the plant guy. He's got his leaf thingy, and I'm kind of leaning towards like this kind of vibe where, I don't know what that's called, but they like tie their nagagi, the like yukata type thing, with something that like wraps around their back, and then so it's all like puffy at the sleeves, and then some like, I don't know, puffy pants. But I'm trying to think of like, so since the plant guy, his jacket is made out of a leaf, what is something that I can do with the demon guy to kind of like relate to that? Like if his clothing were a different material or something like that, but I'm struggling with identifying what that could be in a way that makes sense and like feels like yes, you know? So I'm gonna keep thinking about that, and yeah, we'll chat later. Bye. Hey guys, good morning. So I thought this morning it would be nice to take myself on a little artist date or whatever, sketchbooking date. And I've been meaning to check out the farmer's market. There's a new farmer's market on the very west edge of town. And I came here maybe like a couple weeks ago, not into the farmer's market itself, but into a coffee shop kind of in the area. And so I thought I would come back and spend a bit of time here and bring my sketchbook with me. And it was lovely. I have to go to my mom's house to help her with something right after this, and I have lunch planned, so it's a very packed day. But yeah, this place was much more bustling than I was expecting, especially in the morning when I came, but it was nice. I spent some time sketchbooking. Let me show you guys what I drew. But yeah, it was nice. There was some like live music going, and whenever I happen upon live music, I'm just so delighted. I love live music, and I feel like it's so difficult to find or run into, especially in like intimate settings. If you're not like going to like a specific concert or something, and it's just like casual and it's just some random person playing music and singing and stuff like that. And I love that. I love that vibe. So whenever it does happen, I'm like, wow, yes. So that was lovely. I just drew some people around me. Like I said, there were tons of people. It was fun to people watch, looking around, just like seeing everybody chilling on their Sunday, enjoying their time. It was nice. It was really nice. So that's one page. And then on the second page, I drew the back of the musician, the singer who was singing covers of some really beautiful music. He started singing a cover of Blackbird by Paul McCartney, and I was getting teary. I was like, damn. How beautiful. I don't know. I was just so grateful for humanity and music and art and being there in that moment, being able to witness this person singing beautifully, a beautiful song. It was just it was just nice, you know? So yeah, that was lovely. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me. Now I'm going to go to my mom's, and I think I have to run. I should stop blabbing and enjoy the rest of my day. So let's go do that.
What's that sticker? A place to rest my head.
It's my sticker.
Oh, you made it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay. Share. Damn, it's calendar time already, huh? I feel like we just did this. Are we starting on the bottom? Yeah, so like, I don't know, I think if this is all the way at the back, I'm just gonna like tie it.
You don't have to tie it.
You can just like pinch it between them.
morning! Welcome to my woodworking show with this light completely lighting up my entire face. So yeah, hi. I have my little molding corners or whatever that I'm going to be using for the top and bottom of my little painting here. And I also have some wood stain. Ta-da! So I would like to do that now. Hello, it's evening, a Sunday evening. I've just eaten. Okay, so my tummy is full. Okay, and that's it. I think I have some sanding paper. Yeah. I have some old sanding paper from like when I took wood shop in school, or maybe I used sanding paper for other things. Oh my, very dusty. But yeah, this is like pretty much ready to stain. It's just the ends where they were cut kind of need to be sanded a tiny bit and then stained. And yeah, I'm gonna be seeing Morgue tomorrow, but I don't really want to rush this. And I kind of feel like, so once I install this on the top and bottom, I might need to add something behind on these edges, just because like as you can see, I don't know how well you can see that, these edges, the vertical edges, are kind of like curling inwards, and I don't know if, you know, just putting something top and bottom will really do much for that. We'll see. But yeah, that's the vibe right now. So it's all sanded down. I just kind of took some of the sharpness off of the edges, especially on the edges that were cut with a handsaw for me at Home Depot. As well as this one has like a bit of a, it had like a, I don't know, the corner was like chipped off kind of. So I just smoothed that a little bit. And yeah, I wanted to stain it tonight, but the can of wood stain says to do it in a well-ventilated area, which of course, right? And I could do it now and I could open the windows, but it's cold outside. So maybe I'll wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow's supposed to be like a decent temperature. So I'll do it during the day when I can open the windows, and then it should only take one coat, and then that should be good. And then I can attach the canvas to it, which is very exciting.
Hi. Wow, I'm tired. It's just hitting me how sleepy I am right now. I just ate a big bowl of chili, maybe not just, maybe like an hour ago, okay? I ate a big bowl of chili and it was delicious. And yeah, now I'm working on these sticker sheets. And I feel like I've come to a bit of a revelation. So I've been chipping away at this, trying to figure out what I want to do for the style of sticker, right? Because I feel like every time I design a sticker, which is every month for Patreon basically, other than the couple little shop ones I've done, I struggle with what kind of style I go with for a sticker. I've talked about this before, but like when it comes to sticker art, I think and I like stickers that are just like, they look silly and rough and like not too detailed, not too polished, because they are so small, you know, and they like are slapped on like sketchbooks or headphones or laptops or whatever. So the art itself, when it gets too complicated, I feel it like loses its charm, or it's like trying to be something that it's not or do too much. At least when I approach designing stickers like that, that's the kind of vibe that I get. So this first sticker in the like soft or like the nice plant guy sticker set, I've redrawn now 4 times. It is the little plant guy, and he's like inside of a peony, and he's just like using the petals as blankets, and he's just all cozy and sleepy in there. Okay, so this was the first thing that I did. It was a very rough sketch. If it'll focus. There we go. It was a very rough sketch, right? But I was getting pretty detailed with the petals and everything, trying to figure out the shape of the actual flower. And then I didn't really like that, so I thought like, okay, what if I just kind of go a little bit more sketchy and try and like do this thing that I'm describing as like, I don't know, when a sticker looks a little bit more like rough and silly, almost like low effort, I suppose. It's like high effort, but it's trying to look low effort. And then I didn't like that, really. And then just now I did this one. And so this one, of all of them, is obviously, it's like the most kind of finished looking, the most high effort. But what's funny is when I was working on this, I was trying to like, I was being intentional with my lines, but I was trying to be like quick and, you know, not perfect with my strokes. And I was referencing an old piece that I did. I don't know how many years ago this was, but I'm really liking this style again. I feel like it's, when I did play with doing a couple illustrations in this style, I enjoyed myself a lot. It flowed really easily. So I'm kind of looking back at old pieces that I've done and trying to like reference that in terms of like what style feels the most natural to me and like not low effort, but you know, it just like clicks for me. And I thought that this would be a good reference for that because that was kind of like how I felt doing it. But yeah, so I did this in that kind of style, and while it is nice, right, I do kind of think it's trying to be its own illustration rather than, you know, a sticker on a sticker sheet. And it's trying to be like too complicated and too much of a piece of art rather than a silly sticker, which is what I kind of want it to be and what I like in a sticker. And then right after that, in like probably 5 minutes, I drew that guy. This one right here. And I like it. I like it the most. Out of these 4 that we just saw, yeah. Like it's silly and it's rough and it's like chunky and whatever, but it just feels the best to me. So that's a relief. I feel like I've just been overthinking the fuck out of this whole sticker sheet, and like working on this last one, while it did feel kind of good to like be like go back to a style that I know that I, you know, am comfortable with and stuff like that, there was a part of me that was kind of like, like, God, I have to do 2 whole sticker sheets and like all of these stickers are going to be entire like detailed illustrations. And I was kind of like feeling like meh about that and just like not even completely sold on what this looks like. And then so to just like literally fart this out, that's great. Sometimes, you know, to come to the most simple solution, right? You need to go the long way. I feel like this happens so often, like especially with design work and stuff like that. You jump into a project or an idea that you have or a brief or something, and you immediately think of like the most ambitious, like most crazy, conceptual, like huge stuff. And then I'm just thinking about branding because I'm working on a branding project right now for work. And that whole process of like exploration and figuring out the concepts behind a brand and like a logo and shit like that. There's so much involved, and so many times you like go through every single idea, every single like complexity, whatever, before landing back at the simple thing, landing back at the thing that it seems so simple that it's like you're scared that it's almost too easy and too obvious, but then you do all of the work and then you come back to it and you're like, yeah, that was the one. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm glad that I figured that out tonight. I feel like the past few nights I've been doing different iterations of that single sticker, and I was getting a little bit stressed out on how long this was taking me and how not figured out this was. How little I had figured out, I guess, in terms of these sticker sheets. And I'm telling myself I have a deadline of this week to finish them. It's Monday today. Hello. So yeah, but I'm happy about that. And I think it's cute. And I think that's the right way to go. Maybe I was falling into the trap again of like, you know, I've talked about this concept before of like me feeling like I need to struggle, or like what I'm working on needs to be hard or feel like it's a challenge in order for it to be good. But that's not the case at all. Especially for stuff like this, when like the charm comes from it being done quickly and it looking effortless. I don't know, what I've learned here today is that the extra effort and the unnecessary struggle that I was putting myself through for the sake of, I don't know, art, was just my mind playing tricks on me and thinking that something can't be good unless I struggle or I push myself harder than I have to, or you know what I mean. A reminder for myself, and maybe for you, if you want it. I stained the thingies, the thingies, you know, the painting thingies earlier today when it was like 13 degrees out, which was lovely. Opened some windows. It was stinky, so that was fun, but aired it all out and we're okay now. But yeah, now that it's like done, I like the color, you know, it's like a nice kind of, it's like kind of similar to what we have going on here. It's like kind of grayish undertones, but still like a light wood, which I like. I don't like wood when it's like too orangey. Like I feel like my desk is almost kind of borderline too orangey. But yeah, so the stain's on there, I like it, but I feel like it is lacking polish. You know, it looks a little like hardware store still. So I ordered some wood varnish, and so when that arrives, I'm gonna add it on top of my stained wood here, and that'll give it like a nice glossy finish to make it feel more of like a, I don't know, intentional piece of framing device for the painting. I feel like the way that you present art, especially traditional art, if it's not already on a canvas, can do so much or take away so much from the painting itself if it's not presented in the right way. I'm getting like war flashbacks to my one gallery piece that I did. It was like the lady and the rabbit like sitting on her and they were kind of overlapping. I did that one on unstretched canvas as well, and then I put it in a floating frame, just like a cheap one that I got from, I think it was like Michael's or Staples or something like that, and it just looked like shit. Because like the painting was great, but I think because I put it in that frame specifically, it really took away from it because it wasn't glass, it was like plexiglass or something, so it was like kind of like wobbly. So in the light, you could see the warps and stuff, and it just looked cheap. And I don't know, like that was like the cheapest option, and it was for an auction, so I didn't even know if it was gonna sell. Thankfully, it did, and hopefully whoever bought it took it out of that fucking frame. But yeah, so I just needed like the cheapest solution, and that was it. So, but definitely a lesson learned, and something that I don't want to do with this painting. Because it's a big painting, it's a big piece. I want it to look nice. I want it to be presented in a nice way. So I think it's worth the little bit of extra effort and the little bit of extra money to get it to that point. So, yes. Hopefully that all works out. I'm a little bit concerned with attaching the canvas to the frames, to the frame wood, because I'm gonna use a staple gun. That's what I'm planning on using, but I'm a little scared that the staple gun might be like too powerful, you know, and like break through the wood or like damage the wood so that you can like see the staples through to the other side. I'm gonna test it obviously first before I attach the canvas to it in like an inconspicuous part of the wood and see if it does break or like push through. Hopefully it doesn't. But if it does, I'm gonna have to find like some teeny tiny nails or something. It's hard because like the wood thing that I'm gonna attach the canvas to is like so skinny. So like nails, even like the shortest nail that I could find at like Home Depot or whatever is like an inch. So we'll see about that, and I will keep you guys updated. Hello, good morning. I know when I film in this spot, it always makes the most like dramatic lighting because we are so backlit. I talked about this on my video podcast for November, but I'm on the edge of potentially buying a new camera, and I have my sights set on the Fuji X-S20. It's like a mid-range camera, right? But it's mirrorless. So the one that I use is a Canon SL2, which is a DSLR, so it's very chunky. But yeah, I bought this one secondhand. I've had it for years, and it's good. It's gotten me where I am, and I've been able to use it in conjunction with my iPhone and stuff like that, and I've been relatively happy with it. But I am just ready for something new, I think. So with Black Friday coming up, I'm just like eyeing this like secondhand camera online shop and hoping that maybe some of them will go on sale. But yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, hi, good morning. Today is Thursday, and I just got up, just sat down with my coffee, did a bit of journaling, and it's just a beautiful morning this morning. I feel like, I don't know, I just felt compelled to talk to you guys right now because I'm feeling like I'm like tearing up. I don't know, I'm feeling so grateful, I guess.
and peaceful, and I don't know, everything just feels good right now. And lately, generally, things have been feeling good. Even when they don't feel perfect. For example, when I'm in like a low a bit, or like low motivation or whatever, I'm learning to also see those times as being okay and accepting those times as what they are. The discomfort that I feel, I think, when low motivation hits me is from not accepting the low motivation state that I'm in, or creating a resistance to what is happening to me in that moment. And yeah, so I don't know, moving forward with that kind of new understanding, it's been nice. And I'm tearing up. I don't know, I feel so grateful. I feel like I felt this way when I first started reading The Power Is Now, and like all of those concepts were really, really clicking for me. I just felt so grateful to be discovering those things and them resonating, because like I said before, like I know it's one thing to read something or hear of something, and it's another thing for those things to really hit for you, and you're able and you're ready to internalize those things. So I just remember feeling so grateful that those two things happened to hit me at exactly the right time together, like they both merged. And now, you know, like a few weeks later, I forget when I started reading or started listening to the book, or trying to implement these concepts, but it was probably about a month ago, I think. And then since then I've really been taking them and implementing them into my day-to-day, and how I live, and my perspective, and I don't know, it's nice. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like continuing to take these ideas and live them for, you know, now coming on a month. And definitely in the past month I can remember hitting like a specific low, but that was a learning moment and a realization of what I just talked about, the accepting of that low. And just because I'm now learning these new things and learning to try and exist, I guess, in the present, rather than just simply exist in anticipation of the future or regret of the past. You know, it doesn't make those emotions or those low periods completely go away forever. I think that's, you know, impossible. Everybody has their ups and their downs and their ebbs and their flows, but with this new framing and being able to see things in a different way, I feel it's like a relief, you know? I feel like maybe for a long time, I was constantly living in, I guess, fear of when my next low period would come. And I suppose like anybody who struggles with, you know, anxiety and depression, and just like any human, like nobody's constantly high all the time. Everybody's gonna have their low periods. I was living in fearful anticipation of when I was at a high, afraid of when the next low would come, and not feeling ready or not knowing what to do about that, because I saw those low periods as such a negative thing and such a wrong thing and something that I shouldn't feel, or if I do feel it, I need to just get out of it immediately and get back to being high. And I've talked about this concept a lot in other vlogs, that like when I'm low, and because my self-worth was built up attached to my productivity or how good I feel or how much I can do, when I find myself not able to do anymore, or I find it very hard to do, it hurts. And I'm fundamentally already, like, I already believe that if I can't do, I have no worth. So yeah, that's like the belief that I was living with, right? But now the reframing of it, like, I thought that the problem was me falling into low periods, period. And I thought my goal or whatever with like therapy and whatever else is to be able to take care of myself and heal so that those low periods are rare and short, if they come at all. But now with this new perspective or whatever, I've learned that it's not about stopping the low periods from coming, because then they're always framed as a bad thing and a scary thing, that if they come, you have to deal with them and get out of them immediately. But now I'm realizing, and it's been like a bit of a paradigm shift for me, if you will, that, you know, there's nothing really to be afraid of with a low period if you can see it as something that you are able to accept fully and go along with, and not see it as a terrible, terrible bad thing anymore that takes away your worth as a human being. So with that new framing, like, the next, like, I know that I'm feeling good right now, but I know that when I do inevitably feel low or feel bad again, the only thing that will make that period or that cycle uncomfortable for me, or, you know, feel bad, is if I try to go against it, or if I, you know, don't accept where I am in that moment. Does that make sense? It's a very peaceful idea. So when I first started therapy, I think maybe, I forget how long I was doing therapy the first time around or whatever. It was, I think it was like a couple years ago now. It was in the fall, right? The fall, winter. And then after the winter, I stopped going. I must have been going for like 2 or 3 months, I think. But yeah, I stopped because I felt like I had really figured a lot out and I was feeling great. I was feeling on top of the world. I felt like I could do anything and everything was great. And so I stopped going to therapy, right? Because I had learned so much. I thought, you know, I would take a break to kind of practice what I had learned, and, you know, therapy's expensive, so I thought I would, you know, since I'm feeling so good, just take a big break from that. But I think my feeling good was based around feeling like I could do. The essence of my self-worth and my good feeling was attached to what I could do. And so when I inevitably fell to a low again, that next low was really low. I sometimes have trouble like remembering the specifics of certain times in my life, but I do remember like the very specific feeling of like, fuck. You know, it was a super high to a super low. And what I kept beating myself up over was that, like, damn, like, I thought I had figured this out. I was doing so well. It seemed like my high would last forever and I would finally be able to start living, you know, or start, yeah, I guess living to my full extent. And then so when I became low again, it just, the comparison from where I was just like gut-wrenching. It was fucked up. And I was beating myself up over it because I was like, fuck, what the fuck is wrong with me? You know? So that first kind of revelation that my first round of therapy opened up for me, I think was, you know, it was a good step, and I learned about things like, you know, the psychology terms and whatever else, the cognitive distortions, and how to deal with, you know, anxiety and my irrational thinking and worries and fears. And that's really important. But I think that false relief that I felt or whatever was still on a faulty belief system, because it was all still for the purpose of being productive and doing the most, and never to stop doing, or never reaching a point where I feel low again, so I cannot do, so therefore I am not worth. So thinking back to that, and then now thinking about this new kind of place that I am, or that these new things that I'm learning, it's all coming together as like, okay, now in hindsight, looking back, I know where I was then, and I know that that my belief that everything was figured out and I was, you know, finally gonna be all good and all happy all the time, that was still, I didn't understand fundamentally a lot of different things. And I still don't, I'm sure. I'll continue to learn things and discover things about myself and life and how I live it. But now this new high that I feel, it's not really coming along with a weight of what if I feel low again. Because now I know that if I do feel low again, that's okay. And I can accept that, and I can just continue to be present and enjoy everything in me and everything around me, regardless. So that's where I am. That's what I've come to. And I'm glad that I could come to this, you know, in this single video, because I know at the beginning of the video that's when I started talking about like this whole thing. And my exploration into these new ideas of being present and all the concepts in the power of now and spirituality and yada yada. And so I'm glad that, you know, today I didn't expect that, you know, I would talk to you guys like this or come to any sort of conclusion, but today I woke up and it felt like a normal day. It is a normal day. I made my coffee, I sat down to journal, and I just noticed how, sorry, I cannot turn the tap off. These are happy tears. I don't know, joyful tears. I looked around and I noticed how beautiful and green my plants are today. And how happy they look, you know? God. Yeah. That's what fucking triggered all this, was just, I don't know, noticing my plants. And then I sat down to journal, and everything around me looked so beautiful. I was like, damn, if everything's beautiful out there, it must be beautiful inside as well. So, yeah. Woo! So yeah, that's where I am. That's how I feel. And it's great. So I just wanted to share. That's my new perspective. That feels so good. And it doesn't always, you know, I get moments where I can look around and really take in everything in that moment and really appreciate and all that, like, you know, currently or a little bit earlier or whatever. And so I know that there are moments like this that are like really beautiful and really impactful for me. But then there are other moments where, like, you know, I can stare intently at a plant or something, or stare intently at the sky or whatever else, and it just won't really come. And that's okay. I still am able to find peace in just being a little bit quiet and observing a little, just being in the present moment, regardless of, you know, whether looking at a plant makes me cry. But when that does happen, it's a really beautiful feeling. So that's all. I should probably stop talking. I've been talking for fucking 24 minutes now. Holy. This is gonna be a long video. Just a chatty fucking thing. As they all are, but yeah. So yeah. Really good book, that one. That's the book that, you know, those ideas are what worked for me. And it's, those concepts were delivered in a way that was right for me. So if you're interested, I do recommend, if you have Spotify, Spotify includes, I think, 15 hours of audiobook time, and they have The Power of Now on there. That's how I did it. So if you already pay for Spotify, you can take a little listen. There are some ideas in there that if I listened to too many chapters or whatever, or took in too much information at one time, it was starting to just drone out and whatever, so I listened to it very slowly, and like I said, I would re-listen to chapters over again. So much so that I've used up my 15 hours, and now I'm left with no audiobook for the next few days, which I think is good, and I think it's like a, you know, it's an opportunity for me to kind of like not take in those ideas anymore and just kind of be and exist and reflect on my past listenings or whatever until I'm able to continue. Yeah, that being said, like, that book is it's like a bestseller, right? Like, probably millions of people have heard those ideas or read the book or listened to it, or, you know of Eckhart Tolle. But still, there's a lot of unhappiness in the world. So it's one thing to listen to the book and read the concepts or whatever, but it's another thing for them to hit, or for you to be ready to receive those things. Or maybe, you know, it's just not right for you, or those concepts are not in the right framing or the right language or whatever. Okay. I'm gonna get on with my day. Yeah, I'm gonna continue to work on my stickers, and we'll see what else I get up to. I should probably varnish my wood today and figure that whole thing out, because I would like to wrap up this vlog soon, and I would like to get that wood mounted in this vlog, because that's the whole thing that started it. So I would like to wrap that up in a single video. Would be nice. So yes. Much love. Let's continue. Hi, hello. I'm using my lav mic today because I'm kind of in the middle of editing this current video and have noticed that obviously when I use my shotgun mic or whatever, my normal mic on my camera, and I stand this far away, the audio is not very good. So this is what we're doing. Hello, it's Saturday. Today is going to be my last day of vlogging because this video needs to go up on Monday. But yeah, I thought that now would be the time to test out and see how the staple gun action is gonna go. So I originally had 8mm staples, or I don't know how big that is in inches, but I ordered 6mm, which is 1/4 inch, which is literally just as thick as what this wood is. So it'll kind of be a bit of a risk to see and to test this, because ideally I would be able to get shorter staples, but they don't make them shorter than this. So I guess we're gonna just have to fuck around and find out. So I've picked kind of which sides I want for to be facing outwards, because it's gonna be like protruding from the wall, as we discussed. So I like certain sides better than other sides, or one side better than the other for both of them. And so I'm just gonna test out the staple on one of the sides that will not be facing outwards or whatever. But yeah, do we like the color? I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see from over there, but I like it. You know, with the varnish, I feel like the varnish did a lot for it. And especially looking at it now, I feel like every time I was working on this thing, like staining it and then varnishing it, it was pretty gloomy outside and so dark inside. But today, finally, the sun is out and the sky is blue for the most part. So you can kind of get a better idea of what it actually looks like. But yes, this is my staple gun, currently empty, no staples inside, with the safety thingy up. I got this staple gun for school back when I was in art uni or whatever, because we used to stretch and prepare our own like watercolor paper or whatever. When you like to prepare watercolor paper, you like soak it in water and then gummy it or like paste it or tape it to a board, and then you staple the edges so that when it dries or whatever, it like stretches. Anyways, so staples, let's load them. Why don't you guys come closer? Okay, pulling out the staple to load the staples. Yeah. Okay, so now there are staples in. This is a live gun, and I'm just gonna test it on some cardboard over here first. Make sure we're all operational. Brace yourselves, it's gonna be loud. All right. And the staple did indeed come out. So this is what we're dealing with. This is the size of staple. But just so you guys can see, it's like just short enough, or like borderline too long, maybe, that it'll come out the other end, but I'm not sure. Like, maybe if it like sits on top of the wood like this, it'll be okay. Don't know. Looks pretty close. So I guess we'll freaking find out. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, bottom piece confirmed. So I will test here. Okay, are we ready? And we shall freaking see. Ready? Ugh. Ugh. Okay, there it is. In. Okay. If you guys can see, it did put like 2 tiny little bumps in the wood. Fuck. That's like so close. Let me try at a different piece, at a different point.
And I wonder as well, like, I wonder as well, because like the canvas has a bit of thickness, I wonder if that will lift it a little bit so that it's not as tight to the wood. I don't want to pull out the entire canvas roll. Okay, I have a bunch of these like panels that I wrapped in canvas at one point that I can probably just steal a bit off the back, like so. Okay, let's try again, shall we? Alrighty, so round 2 on this guy, and we'll put some canvas there. Okay. And reveal. Ah. See? Ooh, nothing. Very good. Okay, so maybe the canvas does make that bit of difference because, like, see how flush this one is? Can you guys even see? Is it focusing? See how flush it is, like, to the wood? It's basically flat inside of the wood. But this one, because it has something underneath it, it can't go so deep into the wood. So maybe that saves it. So maybe this will work after all. Great news. Alrighty. Let's do this then. This is going to be a bit of a test because the fish painting on the wood needs to be attached very straight, right? And evenly. Oh God, I hope this all works. Graceful. Okay, so I can see that these corners are kind of like if this is straight, these corners kind of pull up a little bit, I guess because of gravity, right? So I'm gonna try and take note of that. From the end, 5 millimeters this side, millimeters on the other side. Okay. This is just the tiniest bit stressful, I will say. And then let me get a little clip. This is what we have going, right? Where did I put my ruler? Here it is. Okay, so I have about 1.5 centimeters on this side. And not to say that like both sides are even, because like, damn, this isn't even 1 centimeter on this side. Like it definitely looks like it shwoos up that way much more on that side than this side. But that's just me eyeballing it. So like, what is the move? Now I'm kind of thinking, should I tape it, right? Should I tape it and then see if I can flip it over? But like, I don't know how secure the tape is gonna be. Moment of truth? That looks so good. Hell yeah. Okay, it's like extremely rough because it's like totally not fully attached or anything like that, but check it out, hell yeah. I think it'll turn out fine. Like, the wood itself is straight, so as long as the top bit is mostly straight, then I can just mount the bottom bit kind of to match, if that makes sense. As best as I can. Because as long as the top and the bottom pieces of wood are parallel to each other, then that's what matters, right? Okay. Now I'm going to staple, okay? So this is permanent. Okay, so meaning, right? I'm probably not going to like fuck around with moving the camera around and trying to get like nice cinematic shots of this because I am stressed. Okay, let's freaking do it. my dogs. Boom. 1 in. Clear on the other side. Hell yeah. Okay. Top edge is done. Holy moly. Ooh, yes. Hell yeah. Look at that. Nice. Now, let's figure out how to do this next one. So I wonder, because it needs to be face down in order for me to attach it, right? I'm sure there's a way I can do this to get it close enough. In fact, I think I know a way. I'll fold it over like so, and then I'll check the, I guess to the best of my ability, the length, and make sure it's the same all across. And that'll be solid enough, probably, right? Okay. And then I'm gonna need my handy dandy, this one, ruler with a T, which I used all the time in school and never use now. But look at me go, it's coming in handy. And then I'll line it up with this edge. Okay, and this is gonna be like a bit of an eyeball. So 50 and like 4 millimeters. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is shorter, meaning I need to pull it up a bit, right? Okay, 50 and decent. Try the middle. 50 and a bit. Do this edge. 50 and that's more, but that's the edge, so it's a little... Okay, I think that's pretty good. Maybe I'll just add some liney lines, or I'll just draw a line. The top bar just needs to be parallel with my line here. And then we should be good. In theory. If it all works out how I expect it to. 6 and 5. 6 and 6. 6 and 7. 6 and 8. Okay. So I have to get closer this way. 6 and 8. 6 and 8. 6 and 8. 6 and 8. Oh, fuck me. Okay. And one last measure for good measure. I see. We've moved. Damn it. Okay, if I'm gonna be off, it'll only be off by like a millimeter. So I'm gonna just call this good. Okay, now let's staple. Where's my staple gun? And let's do it. Final stapling. Oh, ouch, my thumb. I didn't staple myself, it just the kickback on the staple gun. Okay, you guys, wowza, look at this. Looks great. Wow, wow, full circle moment. Look at this, incredible. Okay, so now to truly test if we've not fucked it up, let me put away my staple gun and let's take a look. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah. Okay, I see. So yeah, hold on, can I see it too? Let me just, ooh, there we go. So it'll like,
you know, that's how it'll mount or whatever. Wow. Yay. Oh, pretty. Yeah, okay, so the ends are kind of flaring out, as I suspected they would. Maybe I'll see if I can just like lay some books on there on the ends and lay it down on the table and see if that just flattens it out. If not, I'll have to get some sort of like, I don't know, fucking popsicle sticks or something, some backing back here, maybe a wire to hold it straight. But for the most part, check her out. Wow, pretty, yay. It's all in a good framing device, isn't it? Okay, great. Well, that went well. I'm very pleased. Okay, so there we are. Here it is under a bunch of books. Hopefully that does it. Yeah, once it's up in Morg's space, I'll grab a photo, or I'll get her to send me a photo or something so that I can put that on the vlog so you guys can see it put up. Wow. It's finally, this fish painting has been around for nearly a year now. I started it last December. I feel like I've talked about this before because, you know, I did my other videos where I'm like finishing it or whatever. But yeah, wow, beautiful. I'm so glad the framing worked out for me. It just makes it look so nice and so finished. But yeah, that is all. Let me center myself because it being the end of the vlog, I want to thank my patrons. My motherfucking patrons. Hell yeah, patrons. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. Much, much love. Your support means so much to me. Thank you as always. I hope you guys like this vlog. Extra! And then yeah, thank you to everybody else, but at a lower octave. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well. And yeah, if you want to support me directly, or you're interested in the little thingies I get up to over on patreon.org. It's actually .com, patreon.com/LeeChuts. You can find me there. Yeah, I do, you know, I post silly little sketchbook scans and sometimes BTS or like anything else that I'm feeling. That's my lowest tier kind of. And then the tier above that, I do video podcasts every month. So I just film myself yapping, usually for like an hour and a half-ish. And then the top tier is my mail rewards tier. So I do a postcard and sticker reward every month, mail those out to my lovely tsurus, my tsuru tier people. And yeah, thank you. If you want to check that out, please do. If you want to support me, I am eternally grateful. And that's all. That is all for this vlog. My return to normal vlogging, and I had a blast. I spent a lot of time all day yesterday, basically, working on the edit for this video, so it's like nearly done. It's gonna go up in a couple days from now, and I'm just having a fun time. I'm being reminded of, you know, how much I enjoy making videos and editing them together and having fun with the edit and yapping and filming myself and going on little excursions and adventures and filming myself do it for my little audience here. So thank you so much for being a part of this. It means a lot, and I hope you're all enjoying it as much as I am. So that's all. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys in a bit.